to Robert's Guitars and Gear. I'm Robert. Great to have you. Yesterday, I posted a video review of this guitar. This is the ESP LTD EC256, long name. Terrific guitar. What I said is, for a $550 guitar, it looks great. It feels great. It's got a beautiful wood finish in the back. I said probably the trade-off with this is that the pickups are high output and they're loud, but they're not particularly clear or crisp. The trade-off is in the clarity of the pickups. And I had a really good comment on my channel from a reviewer that said, what about the Epiphones? What about the marketplace? And so I thought I'd just take a couple more minutes to comment on what I know about Les Paul style single cut guitars in that range of around $500, $550. So his point was very good, that Epiphone in that range has two lines for Les Pauls. They have the Les Paul Classic, they have the Les Paul Muse. Now, I reviewed the Muse. I'll put a card up here to that review. The Muse was great from a performance standpoint. The Alnico Classic Pro pickups are fantastic, maybe the best pickups in this price range. The thing really rocked. But for me, I have kind of small arthritic hands, and the neck was just way too big. Even though it was kind of promoted as a slim neck, way too chunky for me, and it just literally hurt to play. I wanted to keep that guitar and really go with it, but it just hurt too much. What I liked about it is it did have the belly cut. It's very comfortable to play, but the neck was too big. So I have not tried the Classic Pros, but I bought this in part, or was interested in this because it's advertised as a thin U-neck. And it's geared towards a metal player, wants to play fast, wants a thin neck. Now, what I have found with this neck is actually not that thin. My Fenders with a modern C-shape have thinner necks, just by a little. It's not bad. I can play it, but it's not my thinnest neck. It's not as thin as, remotely as thin as like an Ibanez Wizard neck, but it's not bad. So I've been nervous about the Epiphones. Now, the Les Paul Classic is promoted as what with Epiphone calls a slim taper neck, which is sort of arises out of the 60s Les Paul neck. I'm not convinced that that's that slim compared to the neck I'm really looking for. So again, if that's not a problem for you, you have more medium or large hands or just like that Les Paul neck, that's probably a great option because those guitars look terrific, and they have the same Alnico Classic Pro pickup, so they're going to sound good. There's one in a honeyburst finish, looks fabulous. They don't have those Les Paul Classics do not have the tummy cut, but again, they have this slim taper neck, so who knows. Now, your Muse, the Les Paul Muse that I reviewed, did have the tummy cut, but again, the neck just didn't work for me. And the finish was okay for me. I had the smoked almond finish, and it was fine, but I like this finish so much better. It's not even close. So that's what you've got on the Epiphone side. I mentioned Harley Benton in the review. Now, this is a CST-24, which is a double cut. Reason I mentioned Harley Benton, though, is Harley Benton is really shaking up the value end of the guitar industry. They have a single cut SC552 that's got so much going for it, and it's less money than this. It's got stainless steel frets. It's got a Graphtec nut, or at least a graphite nut. It's got what they're called Tesla pickups, and this has Roswell pickups, and the Tesla pickups are supposedly an upgrade from the Roswell, yet these pickups on this guitar sound great. What I said in the review, and I mean it, is What I don't see in the Harley Bentons is the same kind of finish. Now this finish, for example, is not bad. And the finishes on the SC550 are quite similar, but if I compare, and I'll put a picture up, if I compare the amber sort of finish, it doesn't look remotely as good to me. And I felt like if I'm going to get a single cut guitar and really work on it, I'd like it to look good. I want to be excited by how it looks. This guitar, I really, really like. This guitar, it's good, and it's a great guitar. It plays great. It's got a C neck, which I think will be the same on the SC552. Very playable neck. Well constructed, doesn't feel cheap. This is a terrific guitar. If I only could play this in my life, that would be great. It's a super guitar. So if the finish is not as important to you, or if you like the somewhat, I would call them somewhat more aggressive stripe or flame tops. If you like that, if that works for you, then the Harley Benton's hard to beat. Again, in almost every shape and size of electric guitar in the marketplace, Harley Benton's got really, really competitive offerings. Their service is terrific. I got this really quickly after ordering it. But when I put this all together, I'm still at this guitar. And why? Well, again, it just looks fabulous. It feels great. Probably not the best value, but for me, it works. And I encourage you, especially as a newer player, a couple things. Get a guitar that excites you. I have a rack full of guitars that are terrific. Very few of them really excite me. This excites me. Get one that it just jumps off the wall that you got to play it. It's got to feel good. Make sure it fits your body well, fits your hands well. Weight is okay for you. If you've got bad back, or you've surgical shoulders or things like that, maybe a classic super heavy Les Paul's not for you. So try them. Get your hands on them if you possibly can. Support your local music store in really trying out guitars and asking for their help. See, have them show you stuff, and pick a guitar that feels good, that you like. I said this guitar, the pickup's really probably not for me because I want a more vintage sound. Well, starting this afternoon, I'm going to put a pair of Wilkinson classic vintage Alnico pickups in. Curiously enough, the same pickups that used to be in this line of guitar for Harley Benton. I have one of them. They're humbuckers in a Strat, and I really like it. So I'm gonna open this up. I'm gonna put those pickups in. I'm gonna shield it. I'm going to replace the nut with a Graphtec nut, and I'll do an update video. And here's the crazy thing: all those parts, I think I'm in for $45-50 on the pickup, something like that. I'm in for what, $13 or something on the nut. So less than $100. I think this is going to be a really happening rocking guitar. But I'll let you know, and I'll do a video. So again, thanks for watching. I really appreciate the comment that started this video, and have a great day.